I've been putting 100 pounds on just to get
Yeah.
going, but
Yeah. It's like $100 an acre.
Live and recording.
I had some spread south of my house, and it was $100 an acre.
What did you have spread, Scott?
Urea.
I just wanted to hear you say it on the mic.
Oh, are we on?
We're on.
yeah, we're a hot mic.
I thought you were gonna say something else. That's good.
They won't mistake me for Larry Sagers, but we're talking about the same kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, we ready?
Yep.
Okay. Let me get this thing started first. Okay, meeting will come to order. This is the Erda City Council meeting. This is Thursday, March 17th, 2022, about 7 o'clock in the evening. We are at the Tooele County Auditorium located at 47 South Main Street, Tooele, Utah. This meeting is being broadcast over Google Meet and YouTube. And we'll go ahead and start with a roll call. Scott Gerbay.
Here.
Craig Smith.
Here.
Jess Bird is here. Bill Martin. Here. And Terry Meyer.
Here.
We are all here and present tonight. We also have John Brems on the phone. We'll go ahead and get started with the pledge. Terry, I think it might be your turn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And as usual, we'll go ahead and start our meeting with public comment. Going once. Anybody online?
People online, but nobody asking to make a comment.
We can close the public comment.
Second. Move in second that we close public comment. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
And any opposed? Thank you. Public comment is closed. I'll move that we go ahead and approve the meeting minutes, March 10th.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we approve these minutes from March 10th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Okay. Minutes are approved. And we'll go ahead and get started with the main reason we're here. We have finalized and signed by the county interlocal agreement between Tooele County and Erda City. We also have a resolution authorizing us to countersign this, basically putting it into effect. Now therefore be it resolved that this is resolution number 22-13. Be resolved that the agreement is approved and that the council chair and recorder are hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver the same. I'll move that we go ahead and adopt resolution number 22-13, approving the interlocal cooperative agreement with Tooele County for startup funding and services.
Before we do, is John looked at the non-disclosures that we're supposed to sign.
Mr. Brems, we have a question on the non-disclosure portion. If you can hear us, go ahead and unmute and
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, John.
Any other questions or comments on the resolution or the interlocal agreement?
I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded that we adopt this resolution. Is there any additional discussion? All right, we'll proceed to a vote. Scott Dubay,
Yes.
Craig Smith,
Yes.
Jess Bird votes yes. Cal
Yes.
and Terry.
Yes.
It's unanimous. We'll go ahead and sign this tonight and deliver it to the county probably tomorrow. Terry, do you have a treasurer report for us?
Yes, I do. We currently have 6,174.84 in checking for permits that have been done so far.
Do you know when we're gonna get our first bill from?
He's waiting, because all their people have done their jobs. And so, but all the people that have done the permits, they went out and done their due diligence, but all the people that owe the money haven't paid. So he's given us a little leniency on waiting until we get some funding, so then he can charge for all the people that they've done work for to approve the permits, but they haven't all paid for them.
Am I understanding you right that Ensign is paying us for things that they have not collected yet?
No, what I'm saying is they've gone and done the permit requirements, they did the inspections, did their write-ups, all that. But not everybody has paid. That has all the, like there's 15 permits, and so far out of them 15 that they've already done or most done, only 6 have paid. And so, but each 15, we owe them money for doing services that they did to get it to be a approved permit.
So the 6,000 represents 6 permits and not 15 permits?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
And so then out of the original $500 donation that Scott put in, we've got $397.86 because 102.14 of that went for our checks. We do have a checkbook now. So that if we ever get some money, we can.
It's a cool checkbook.
Thank you, Scott.
I did this months ago.
But we also received 2 more bills. We received from the Utah Local Governments Trust a bill for the liability assurance from February 18th to June 30th, $1,581.79, and for the bond for a year for the treasurer is $245. So with that,
Workers' comp in there as well.
this is the 2 that they gave me. I don't know if that liability one's part of that one or what. The 2 that's only listed on the deal is that. So the 2 that's mostly, that's not dealing with salaries and stuff like that, we still owe the county clerk's office for the ballots, $4,404. And for the insurance stuff, we owe $1,826.79 for a total of $6,230.79.
So these are unpaid bills,
Correct.
and then we also have some reimbursements. to
Right, for
these.
salaries and reimbursements. So
How long do we have to pay off the trust?
April 10th.
And he told us that they're not sticklers on that. But we anticipate getting money by the end of the month.
So he wasn't the one that sent this to me, so I don't know if
Oh,
I
don't know if his attitude.
from what he said.
This says immediately upon execution of this agreement by both parties, the county will pay. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly that happens, but
I suspect it'll take them a few working days to get.
We do have the
except to post and
PTIF account established and set up, but they changed the number on us. It was a different number last week and he put a new number today, but, and also part of this
Concerning.
stuff is that, well, it's part of both the roads and treasure, but next week, Bill is gonna put in for our fuel and tax.
CMB road plan.
Great.
As soon as we approve, I'll wait till we get to the roads for that.
I saw a KSL article today that said the state is looking at the possibility of temporarily not doing the gas tax. I wondered what that might mean for cities and counties.
Oh, because of, to try and make it like a relief.
Like a
effort.
relief for, you know,
They
it
were,
didn't sound like the state might do something, but it wouldn't be that because too many salaries are paid out of there. Anyway, I saw that, it was, till I read through it, it was a little alarming. Okay, what else, Terry?
That's about it for the treasure.
We've been counseled to get wildfire insurance, but I don't think anybody's done the research to see what it would take to get that done. So
I don't know
I
either.
think we should make an assignment tonight.
I was under the impression when the fire marshal came and talked to us that we could participate in their fire insurance.
I remember something like that.
Yeah.
I'll call John Stout if you want and see what he says.
Yeah, and then if that's the way we can go, that'd be easy, and if this takes more looking into, I would be more than willing to take upon this.
I'll let you know what John tells me. And
Okay,
you might even know who exactly to call.
absolutely. I mean, we've had a semi-good water year, and that grass is gonna grow up on that hill, and when it dries out in the summer, we could have wildfires, so I'd be prepared for that.
All right. Thank you, Scott and Kel. I've got a recurring item on here for the referendum checklist and dates. I just want to kind of double check, make sure we're on schedule. It looks like our next deadline is 3/25, and that's when we have to distribute pamphlets. And I think that is the first booklet that then will need to get copied. And I think it's on the referrers to do that. I think our responsibility is one booklet.
So
We've got a week to do that. Okay. Uh, within 5 calendar days after the city determines that a referendum is legally referable to voters, create one copy of the referendum petition with the ordinance and signature sheet and provide it to the sponsors. Okay, so, all right, and is electronic form more appropriate or paper? Okay. Yeah, I would think so, higher quality and all that stuff.
I read the statute, it's been a while ago, but I think it's pretty clear that it had to be, you have to give them a hard copy. Now, if we give them an electronic copy, we should, if they want it, just give it to them too, but I think there was a hard copy, talked about the typeset and everything that had to be done on it.
All that's done.
In one
It's-
packet.
It's electronic and ready to go, but it's not printed.
But let's give them one of each.
Okay. All right, anything else on that, John? Yeah, thank you. All right, any further discussion on that referendum? Okay, we've got resolution number 22-09, and this is the regular meeting schedule for the Erda Planning Commission. And this resolution adopts a regular meeting schedule. And the recommendation is that the city council approve our regular meeting, our schedule of meetings, which is the second and fourth Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. in the Tooele County Auditorium at 47 South Main Street, Tooele, Utah 84074. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? I'll go ahead and move that we adopt resolution number 22-09, approving the Planning Commission's regular meeting schedule.
Second.
Then moved and seconded that we adopt this meeting schedule. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And are there any opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, any discussion on roads?
Okay, here's the final rundown that if we all agree on or whatever, I can give Bell the go-ahead to submit it. And it's only a half a mile different than what they had originally given us. So like for the paved, it's 40.56 instead of 41.06, so that's where the half a mile is. The gravel's the same and the dirt's the same, so the total will be 42.63 instead of 43.13. And then when we're done, I got a big map and the little one that we went over at that one meeting, if anybody wanted to stay after and look at, because eventually we're gonna have to set up a memorandum of understanding between Grantsville, the county, and the city on snow removal, because there's such a hit and miss in some of the areas I'm talking about on the map. So-
Yep.
So if, I don't know if we need to vote on it or just shake your head or whatever, it's okay to approve this
So, and
submittal,
this is, they're submitting on our behalf,
correct?
and, which means the money will eventually end up in our PTIF account,
We shall see,
and then that will get paid back to the county.
correct. When they give us the bill, then we'll pay them what we got.
Right? I'll move that we go ahead and authorize the county roads department to submit that
Class B and C mileage data.
B&C mileage data to the state for us.
I think that was part of resolution 2213. So we should, it was in there. And if you wanna
Okay.
vote on it
We're
again,
good.
that's fine, but it was part of that resolution, but.
So we're
Allow
just,
them to do
we're
it.
just accepting that there's a difference in mileage, and I don't think that was in here anyway,
So
so
like I said, it's only a half mile difference, but
the mileage isn't even mentioned in here, so I
We could
think.
do that without that being on the agenda, right?
all roads is on the agenda.
Well, the specific thing.
Either way, I don't think we need to vote on it.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
So I'll call him Monday and tell him to go.
Thank you. Anything else on roads?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you, John.
That'll probably be the committee stuff, what you're thinking about. You talking airport?
No, I just,
The-
we have a map of all the roads in Erda and, the condition they're in and, what our plan going forward needs to focus on which of these
Priority.
streets. And we have a graph that shows how a road can be maintained and it costs so much every couple of years, like 10 cents a square foot, which 41 miles is a lot of square feet. But if we postpone it and postpone it, the roads will get to a point where now we've got to spend 50 and 60 cents a square foot. And they'll get to a point, they listed a place in Tooele County that had gotten to that point and they were looking at like $2.50 a square foot. So,
Basically redoing the entire
Yep.
surface.
yeah, so as soon as we get these road funds, the county road department is going to continue their schedule for how they've been maintaining these roads. I thought one interesting thing that might catch everybody's eye, the roads on here that, none of our roads are in bad shape right now. Some of them are about halfway down the schedule to where you would have to really replace the whole surface. And it seems like those roads, for whatever reason, are the newest roads we have. Just as I kind of look over this map, some of the newest roads are in some of the poorest condition.
Would that put them at the highest priority on the
Well,
list?
That's a decision that we make, or that Terry and I have to make, is do we keep spending 10 cents a square foot on the roads that are in good shape?
Well, I'd say if they're still in the 10 cents realm, then we do it.
And that was their recommendation, is make sure you get those done, and then when you have extra funds, you start spending it on the ones that are farther down the scale, to try and bring them back up. And so the county's gonna do all that until the end of June. And then when we start doing it, we need to see how much money we can apply, not only to the best roads, but also to the roads that are farther down the scale. And, anyway, that presents a little bit of a dilemma about who we will have do that. And Jed gave me a list, not that one, of several companies that do that kind of stuff. If we owned all of our own equipment, we could do it cheaper ourselves, but where we don't, we'll have to hire someone to, whether we're doing, chips or just what, we'll have to hire someone to do it. So, something to think about going down the way. There is since I got everybody's attention, I got some information today from Tom Tripp, actually, about funding projects that are coming up. I had contacted the Wasatch Regional Front Council, and they said all of their funding begins in the fall. But apparently there's some new funding that has come in, and some of it we need to apply for in the next couple of weeks. So, I mean, some of them are things like electric charge stations for electric automobiles. I don't think we need to be doing that. But others are rural road improvement. And so it also comes with a list of people and names to contact and do that. So
Is it a grant just to do an
Well,
electric charge station?
there are some, I noticed there are some that you have to put in like 20% funding. But if it's for roads and we get this B and C road money, we can use that I think, to match funds at 20% rate with some of these projects. And
Great.
so if we could get a couple of those, I would feel a lot better about how our roads are gonna look 2 years from now when I'm out of office.
Some of us are lucky enough to have odd numbers. Okay. Thank you, John. Scott, what do we need to do to apply for those grants in the next 2 weeks?
Well, the last page of the information I got indicates a whole bunch of people to contact, so I suspect the first thing we need to do is call Wayne Benyon. He's the guy I spoke to before. And that's where we'll start. I'll just start doing that. That's mine and Terry's job. So we'll see which ones we can qualify for.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think that's all I have until I think of something else.
All right. That's roads. Anything else? Police? Comments or?
Just excited to be able to start working on it again.
Yeah.
What was the holdup before?
I haven't really talked with the sheriff's department because the interlock agreements aren't done. But I haven't really talked to him about any of this, options moving forward, ideas, thoughts. So able to start doing that again.
Great.
And we should have some funding coming, so that should start moving quickly again.
Okay, solid waste.
Looks like we're taken care of with that.
That one's done and should probably come off future agendas unless something comes up, and then we'll let you know to add it.
Gladly. Anything on ordinance adoption?
Nothing on that one right now.
IT? Any announcements on IT?
No good announcements, but hopefully we have someone on the line to talk to about building a website for us, where we can put notices and
We do an RFP maybe for that? For a company to,
We should. We don't really have a budget to do an RFP,
What
so
about that place that came and talked to us and said that if you go through them, they already have all that stuff?
we couldn't afford that right now, at least not the first year. I think our website budget is less than $1,000 or something.
yeah, some of these website, especially for municipalities, you're looking at $50,000-$80,000 to have them built and thousands of dollars a year in maintenance. And we don't have that kind of a budget. We need
I think we need
a simpler,
something basic. Hopefully someone will volunteer to do that for us. If not, then I'm gonna have to get it done, maybe after I
That's the
clerk
question, though,
recorder
does it
position.
require an RFP then, if we're gonna do that?
What's that?
If we're gonna hire somebody, you talking about donating time or hiring it out?
Donating.
it'll
If I can-
definitely have
If I
to
can get it.
well underneath any kind of established rate. And the website we need right now is simple. It has to be somewhere where we can post notices, and if it had an ability to go to links to our ordinances and resolutions, that would be great. And I don't know if we need much more than that right now.
That sounds
If there was
doable.
a place for people.
Even
to
if I
give us-
had to do that, I think I could do it.
If there was a place where people could give us feedback, that would be wonderful. Maybe that's step 2 of an add-on.
I did go ahead and sort of not start, but I was given and started using an Erda Facebook page. So it will become the Erda official Facebook page. There's nobody really monitoring it or anything, but as soon as we hire somebody, we can assign that task. But
Have the clerk recorder run it type of deal, just like a website.
but it is there, and that was the page that I used to get all the resumes for the job listing. So it is out there, is what I'm saying.
So on a Facebook page like that, can anybody
And or like it, yes.
join? Do you join on to that?
You have to like. Once you like it, you're followed, and then anything we post on there will come down to you.
I think even if you don't have a profile on Facebook, you can go onto the internet and look at the page. I think so.
Yeah, I think it depends on how your privacy.
It's not the
settings,
right end of the table to talk about this.
This is all news to me.
Me too.
but we should verify that.
Yeah, make sure. I'll get on and look.
Wait a minute, I have one other thing.
Yeah.
Can anybody post something on that?
No.
Only,
It's not a group
Not for discussion.
discussion. It's a page like it was its own person sort of thing.
okay, so people can just take information off of it, but they can't put information on it.
No, they can comment.
Someone might be able to comment on something I post. So
Well, we could turn off comments altogether. Have this for information. If you want to comment, share it somewhere else and
I will. Okay, I will try to remember that when I post something on there, I'll mark it as
Turn off comments.
turn off comments, yeah.
Right now, when I
Post a meeting agenda, I'll post it on the Erda page, and then also on the Erda City 411, and then Erda Neighbors. So once we get once our page becomes has more followers and has a better numbers there, I think, and once we have our webpage, I think we'll drop one or both of the other groups from posting. Okay, anything else on IT? Office location, I have not heard anything. John, if you can hear me, has there been any progress made on that interlocal agreement proposed? Okay, we just need something to look at so that we can at least vote on.
What's happening on the 31st? I can't remember that we're not meeting.
So the 31st is being replaced by the city council meeting is being replaced by a SOMAS general plan information gathering meeting.
So there's still a meeting. It's just not a
Yep,
city.
it'll be at Deseret Peak. There will be food trucks. It'll start at 6 o'clock. And I'll be posting more information on that as soon as I get it solidified.
Do you think we should advertise it in maybe business places like on the bulletin board at Cal Ranch?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
It is
It's gonna be in the paper.
Somas was gonna get us some flyers to put out. It will be in the paper for 2 runs.
I forgot that they were gonna give flyers, so I just bugged Chris today, asking him what I should say, so.
It's all right.
As soon as he gets
needs to
that.
get the flyer back to us. It's a good hint,
Great.
reminder to him.
That'd be good, cause I think like just, doesn't Thompson's have a place you can put flyers to? Not sure. Haven't been in there for a while.
There's lots of places around we can put them.
Yeah, Target, Erda. Maybe put a sign up on the drive-in if that's okay with them. Maybe we can have someone build a sign.
Talk to Al.
That might be an efficient thing to do.
You're thinking bigger than I was, but
Be okay with that?
I can get a sign made, if that's okay with you guys. I can talk to people and just, what should I maybe put on it?
pattern it after the poster whenever we get that back.
Yeah, when we get the flyer, I'll just
Flyer, yeah.
pattern it and see if
Sounds-
we can hang it on that fence.
Sounds good to me. The more we can get there, the better.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be perfect.
All right, that was a little off topic. All right, Kale has proposed that we create a new committee called Economic Development. It's also been recommended to me several times. Maybe we're a little premature for, maybe not. Maybe there's never a bad time to start thinking about that.
And start looking into new ways to make Erda more business friendly, attract businesses that help our city, help the people. Start reaching out to businesses, say, hey, what would make Erda attractive for you guys to come here? And start a business or open something, or just start looking into what we gotta do to do that.
We're hoping to have a general plan that's very friendly to bringing in commercial interest and
In certain places. We need a Texas Roadhouse just down from my place.
that's right. Just across from Thompson's would be okay with me.
And that's what this committee could do, is reach out to Texas Roadhouse, their whatever, and their offices and say, hey, how do we get this started? What do we gotta do in order to get you guys here? Car lots, RV lots, whatever it may be that could help us with funding and also provide someone a place to run a good business.
And place to work.
And a place to work, jobs, it's always a good thing.
Okay, so, yeah, any other comments? Kale, do you want,
Volunteers besides Jess?
you want to make a motion?
I mean, besides Cal.
We got to decide if we're going to create an economic development
Yeah,
committee, and then we got to decide who to put on it.
I make the motion, we create an economic development committee.
I'll go ahead and second that. Moved and seconded that we create an economic development committee. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Well, now we need to, we don't have to decide that tonight. We could decide who to put on that committee.
I think Kale's gonna be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on it, if that's okay with you guys.
And any other volunteers?
I have been in meetings with Kale and business owners, and he did a good job. So I would fully support Kale's nomination.
I don't know, our solid waste one just kind of closed down. I would do it with him if someone else didn't want to do it.
Till we get someone else hired, I'm not asking for any more responsibilities, so.
Craig, that'd be awesome.
I make a motion to put Cal and Craig on the economic development.
I second.
Third. Okay, all right, it's been moved and seconded that Kale and Craig are our new Economic Development Committee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you, guys. Forward to seeing what comes from that.
Excited.
Thank you.
Hiring process for city clerk and recorder. Now, I have had phone calls and emails counseling us not to do our interviews in public.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too.
And to that, I don't know what to say.
Let's ask a few people.
We did discuss it already and we pretty
But we
much.
voted on it.
I can't remember voting on it, but maybe we did.
Can't remember if we did or not.
I don't remember either. Remember we discussed it.
I remember deciding that that's how we were gonna do it.
Pretty sure we voted on
I think Terry's right, we did vote on it.
So what I'd like to do is further that process a little bit. And, I've not gotten any more resumes since last Thursday, so I say we cut that off. We go ahead and
15 or something like that. Is
something like that.
They'd have to be open for 45 days. That's when you do an RFP.
Maybe John knows.
John, we've had our, John, are you with us? Officially advertising for city clerk recorder for 14, is that long enough? Okay. Well, if we cut off, applications and, or maybe decide on a few more days, give a few more days and then cut that off.
Because like I says, I know
Okay, I'll do that tomorrow.
there's a government thing that says for an RFP, the minimum was like 45 days.
Yeah, but we didn't put out an RFP for
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Did we do it through an RFP or not?
So,
Is everyone okay if we say close this, Monday of next week, end of day?
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
yeah, I think that's a good time frame.
If it's noticed tomorrow that it's gonna close Monday at 5, then if anyone wants to put an application in, they can.
All right, so we're gonna close, applications Monday at 5. I think I'll send out a final email with all of the resumes. And then, sounded like from there, we were gonna take 1 or 2 or 3 nations from each council member. And then from there, develop a list that we were gonna interview. Does that sound right?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the interview, I think it would be wise to, and I've had recommendations for this, that we create a list of interview questions, that we give each interviewee the same questions beforehand. And then apparently
I
it's.
don't know if I'd give them to them beforehand.
Okay.
And the reason why is I wanna see how they answer something that just comes,
I know what's important is that each person gets the same question.
it is important, each person gets the same question.
What I was thinking is that so the first person isn't caught off guard, not knowing, and then the other people who are here are gonna know what the questions are and have more time. So if we kind of said, okay, here's the questions, and let all of them sit there and think about it, and then come up and then nobody has an advantage.
Yeah, I think unless I'm misreading Jess, he's thinking that we'd be better to not do open public meeting interviews. Unless, am I reading that wrong?
I've had several people counsel me not to. But I have lots of people counseling me lots of things all the time, so.
Do we have to rescind our vote if we're gonna rescind it then?
I just reviewed the minutes from last week, It said that you took an informal vote where Jess, Kale, and Terry said it should be an open meeting. So it was never seconded or voted on, it was an informal vote.
Okay. More of a decision,
Yes.
head nodding.
Can we ask Mary Ann what she thinks? How would you feel about, how would you feel about being interviewed in an open meeting?
For the record, Mary Ann has submitted that resume.
I'm good either way. I think maybe just a little context to add to this. So part of that interview process too, because it is a part-time position, and you're gonna all wanna know kind of, some of these people may have other jobs, so they have to know how does it fit in with their schedule. So there's some other dynamics that you have to work in. So maybe that's why not necessarily having it in an open public meeting might be more beneficial for you. But I'm good either way.
Thanks, thank you.
You just need to be real careful to ask the same questions as every candidate.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can have a Department of Labor problem.
Thank you.
That's right.
So where are we leaning? Open or closed?
I would be more comfortable interviewing someone if it was not a public meeting.
I know they would be more,
The only difference is that there'd only be two as opposed to the
Yeah.
four of us. That's the biggest deal, it'd just be people interviewing and suggesting or do whatever, and then bringing it to the council instead of all of us who it is.
Yeah. And that might be a drawback, huh?
Yeah, there's pros and cons either way. What if you did closed interviews, the two doing the interviews selected the one comes here, gives us their resume to the council, tells us a little bit about themselves, and so we can all make this informed decision at the end.
If two people did interviews and then brought the top 2 or 3 candidates in,
Might be
top 2 candidates maybe.
both right there.
How do other cities do this?
That's a question to ask John.
John, remind us how other cities do this.
There's real pros and cons both ways. One of the big cons doesn't involve us, it might involve the people we're interviewing. Whoever they're working for may not know that they're looking for another position. And that could put them in a very uncomfortable position with their current employer.
That's true. I haven't thought of that.
Well, I think we're leaning towards,
Have basically a second interview process with 2 different members of the council.
okay, I'm okay with that.
I like that idea too.
So sounds like we're gonna do closed interviews. We need to appoint a committee for that. I would like to be on that committee.
I would think so.
Who's gonna do this with me? Who has the most hiring experience of the five of us?
Terry chuckles over there.
He's looking away.
You didn't have to put it that way, Jess. You could have said, I wonder if Terry would be on the committee with me.
Is that a nomination?
Yeah, Terry's done a lot of hiring.
So a lot of interviews with the devil.
Yeah.
Would anybody else like to run for the position?
If Terry's running for it, no. If Terry doesn't want to do it, I'll help you, but if Terry is willing, then he would be a good one.
Okay,
I'll-
all right.
Me and Terry. I still like the idea of the recommendations from all council members of who we interview.
Yeah,
So let's do that.
we're picking 2 or 3 people we recommend, or just all.
If there's
Let's say
only,
up to 3 that stand out to you.
Yeah, okay.
But don't feel like you've got to put in 3.
yeah, if there's only one you really like, just put in one. If there's 3, put them all in.
Or choice rank too, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna close applications Monday at 5. Could you get me your recommendations by end of day Tuesday?
It's reasonable.
Okay. And then, at that point, Terry and I could start doing interviews as early as Wednesday, whenever people are available after that. Okay, that gets us to the interviews at least.
And wasn't it gonna take like 3 or 4 months to have them come in?
Yeah, probably.
40?
Few more years.
So what happens after that? We're gonna recommend,
Give the top 2 or 3 and then pass it on to a couple others and let them whittle it down.
okay. And will that be informal? Those will be one-on-one interviews? When I say informal, what I really mean is a closed meeting.
Right.
Okay. Oh,
Right.
yes, thank you, John.
I think that's what you meant when you said,
I was
Or
more,
less thinking over the phone, one-on-one, but in person, yeah, definitely we'd want 2-on-1. Okay. And then from there, we're discussing names in an open meeting after that and voting. So it's the 17th now. I doubt we get all those interviews done by the 24th. And we're not meeting on the 31st, so let's have a goal to be voting, to having our people coming in and selecting, doing the hire, doing the approval of whoever we're going to select on the 7th. Does that sound like a good goal?
what are you guessing, how many will actually interview?
At least, oh, well, it depends on.
Yeah.
It could be
What
that
we turn in.
we all recommend the same 3 people. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'd say 3 to 6.
I'll bet you we have, that's exactly what I was gonna say, 5 or 6.
And the caveat to all of this is having money to hire. So
So it'd be safe to say we should have the first round of interviews done by March 31st. The second round by maybe April 5th. So we can hire someone on the 7th.
That's right. Boy. That is. Perfect. John, do you know if there's anything with Dave Sanderson that needs to be done in preparation of this? Should I send him an email and let him know that we're getting ready to hire somebody? Okay, I'll send an email to Dave tomorrow and let him know we're getting ready. Thank you. Okay, that's right. Up, up, right,
Did you put in there that may be converted to permanent down the road?
I did, yep. And depending on how things go, I think that's still very accurate, so. Okay, I do have an HR folder in Drive, so we're getting there. Anything else on that hiring process? You get, who gets to see it, John? And it's okay for each council member to have that. Okay, I think that's how I have it now, so good, thank you.
It should be in a locked file cabinet.
Yes. It's locked in that,
Digital world.
yeah, if
That can
it,
still be hacked. We should have a hard copy somewhere as well.
yeah, probably, yep. I have an Erda folder that's about that thick right now. Totally unfiled, unorganized. Oh, it's organized. Chronological.
Kinda.
Okay, council representative reports. Has there been any meetings?
Scott and I had one over the airport this morning.
Was this about their repaving project?
All this was about, they have a master plan and they're talking about it and talking about where to put roads and what to do. And they say that right now they don't plan on extending the runway, but that's still in their master plan, so that could be down the road. But they also brought up that they even said, we didn't say anything, that said that people are worried it's gonna be a mass cargo hauling outfit, and they says, no, it's still just gonna be a general aviation, and so FedEx and all them. But again, this is what they say. Now, whether that's what happens is another story. But they say that nothing bigger than, what was it, a 737,
Well, they said 737s will not be coming.
it'll be under a 737.
It'll be smaller than that.
But they do have, or they are trying to, and I don't know if they did buy the land, they were trying to get the land that they could extend that north. But they're not
And I don't know.
intending to do it right now, so.
Do you happen to know, Craig, if they bought property? I think that's 6 Mile, isn't it?
They have not bought or attempted to acquire any additional property there.
Okay.
It's just where the runway lights are. And I don't know if they plan on taking them out and just putting runway.
They did indicate that under the current size that it is, there's a lot of corporate jets that could come in and out. And it wouldn't be, but it wouldn't be the big jets bringing in cargo and stuff like that. It'll be more like, I don't know, like if they had to get a part from Washington State down here overnight, you know, to meet some need out at the industrial park the Romneys are trying to put in, those kinds of jets would be coming in, but not big ones. So,
They said something about it centrally located, that you can almost make it to Hawaii from here.
yeah, I thought that was
Almost.
a comment. With the corporate jets they have now, you can almost make it to Hawaii from here. So be sure and put pontoons on your plane because you're not quite gonna make it.
Just get really high and coast down. Try to make it.
Some of those corporate jets will run all the way right to the end of the runway and have to be pulled back out of the mud.
Oh, geez.
In Erda? Is that right?
All right, I think we're getting off topic here.
And then,
Any other, yes, go ahead, Terry.
and you and I have a meeting Monday morning at 9:00 with the lieutenant governor, or the community development.
Yep, that's right. Mead and Johnson.
For seeking grants and stuff like that, so hopefully we'll get something out of that.
I'm hoping to hear about grants and also the new rural loan program that the state has come out with. One way or another, I think we need to buy some snow plows this year.
Seems like
Or come up with a good
Plan to hire that out. One or the other. Okay, any other reports? Any general comments?
Didn't you go to the mosquitoes?
I did go to a mosquito meeting. We went over budget. They're under budget, or on budget, I guess is the right way to put it. They're building a new building down there for their trucks on a wash bay. Pretty boring meeting
Where's down there?
at the facilities in Lake Point. They just bought probably yesterday a new truck because the other one is 12 years old and has 44,000 miles on it, so it needs to be surplused. And they're going to put it up. Yeah. So if anyone wants a 12-year-old beat up pickup with 44,000 miles, they will be surplusing that.
I know somebody who's looking for a truck like that. Not me, but I know somebody.
Okay, any other comments, members?
I do have one comment. As a council, we were elected to run Erda City. And over, we keep getting stifled. Couple examples, we talked with Paul Hansen about doing reviews for engineering, because Ensign Engineering can't review its own plans. Paul Hansen got 3 phone calls in one day accusing him of trying to put city values on Erda and saying he shouldn't be any part of Erda. So we lost a great engineer after a long night. He sent a letter to me the next morning saying, thanks for the consideration, but I won't be a part of Erda. I know some people think they're helping by reaching out to people we're dealing with, but you're really not helping. Certainly not when you have negative comments and negative things to portray to these people to push your own agenda. You're not helping Erda. You're not even helping your agenda. I also have had multiple phone calls from different people asking, hey, I've been requested to put in a proposal for Erda City to do your roads. Please do not look for and acquire bidding process for Erda or bank accounts. if you start going down this road, you're getting dangerously close to something that's illegal. And I don't want to see well-intended actions be a cause for harm for an Erda City resident. So please, we've been elected to do the job. We've divided the job up amongst ourselves. Let us do the work. That was it.
Well, I had something that was kind of just the opposite. I was gathered after a meeting and told, you don't represent Erda. My first thought was, well, I think they had an election that kind of says I do kind of represent Erda. And they says, well, you don't represent me because I don't believe in what you say. So then I think, okay, so can I say I represent the district that I was elected in? And then somebody else says, well, no, the elections are over, you represent Erda. So
We are here to represent Erda, and I appreciate people that have good ideas. And the proper channel is to share those with us and then allow us to do the work and not try to step in the middle and do it for us.
I think both of those are well said.
I agree.
and then there's some that maybe had a 10-minute conversation with us or a half hour, but through that conversation know everything there is to know about you. And for those people, my wife will be calling you because we've been married for 40 years and she still ain't got me figured out. So she wants to know all your secrets. So.
You're saying you're like an onion. You have lots of layers.
Yeah.
Every time that we put a name or a contact on one of these agendas, several people from the public will call, and some of them are very rude to the people that we're trying to do contracts with, do business with, make contact with, just friendly outreach to them. And it's really disappointing when that happens, and I do hope it'll stop. We can't really stop it, but it is for the person on the other end. It's hard to get bombarded like that, and we're losing good people that way. So
What's it gonna take to leave the past in the past? I think that's one of the big hurdles. We need to leave the past in the past and go forward as a city, a new city, and forget the past and just look forward instead of looking behind. And until we get that mentality, I think we'll struggle.
thank you, Terry. I think we all mean well and more or less want the same things. But thank you. I think it's good to be looking towards the future. Okay, on that note, anything else? Okay, I move that we go to a 5-minute recess and then move to our closed meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn for recess and go
You
to.
want to, John's always very particular about what the closed session is for in your motion.
This closed session is to discuss a pending of reasonably imminent litigation per Utah Code, section 52-4-205 1A. Okay. Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, I think for we're gonna go to adjourn, we're gonna go to a recess and then closed session, but I think we need a roll call vote. Okay. Scott?
Yes.
Great.
Aye.
Jess votes aye. Cal?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Jess?
I didn't stop.
End broadcast.